Hello and welcome to bmzlounge.com. This video is part of our Lounge Fever series where we try to answer the questions that we get from you. These days, we are covering questions that come from you on the procurement management knowledge area. And a question that came was if a bidder conference was mandatory. Is that mandatory? What do you think? Let me know in the comments before watching this video. Also, first link in the description is going to take you to an entire playlist of every single video that we have done on the Lounge Fever series of procurement management knowledge area. That is just answering your doubts, answering your questions. And second link in the description will take you to a playlist on every single video that we have done on the concepts of procurement management. So two important playlists, check them out. Let's try to answer this question. All right, so at this point, let me remind you of a concept known as process tailoring. Basically, what this concept says is that every process that you read in your PMP courseware can be tailored, can be modified to suit your real life project environment. Similarly, bidder conference, although it is not a process in itself, it is just a tool and technique in the procurement management knowledge area, but you can definitely tailor it. You can definitely modify it if required for your real life projects. So definitely it is not mandatory to have a bidder conference for every single project. Let's say your company have a preferred seller. So your company has a preferred seller for stationery items. Now, in your project, if you require any stationery items, you are definitely going to go to the preferred supplier and get the procurement done. You are not going to hold a bidder conference for stationery items when your company already has a preferred supplier and when all stationery items in your company is supplied by this preferred supplier. So you're definitely not going to have a bidder conference. Let's say that there is a sole source for whatever that you want to order. Let's say you want to order a server and there is a sole source in your area that sells servers. Then of course you don't need a bidder conference because this sole source is the only person who is going to attend that bidder conference, which basically defeats the purpose of a bidder conference. So if there is a sole source, if there is a preferred supplier of your company, you don't really need a bidder conference because you already know who to reach out to if you want to do any kind of procurement. Let's look at the goals of the bidder conference. So this is much more clearer. So let's look at the goals of a bidder conference. Let's say you actually need to do some kind of procurement where your company does not have a preferred supplier, where you have more than one supplier. So there's no sole source for that item, right? So you want to do certain procurement where there could be many potential sellers. So the number one goal of the bidder conference would be that you need to make sure all the questions of the potential sellers are answered. So instead of having a unicast communication with all the suppliers, it's best to have a bidder conference, invite all of them and answer all their questions. Secondly, when you are answering their questions, it is important that all these potential sellers are treated equally. It is important that they have access to the same information, because if you're having unicast communication with these sellers, right? Let's say you have unicast communication with all these sellers, then some sellers may have access to some kind of information which could give them an advantage over others, which is definitely not treating all these potential sellers equally. So in order to make sure that all the potential sellers are treated equally, it is best to have a bidder conference, invite all of them and make sure that all of them receive the same answers to the questions that they have. So these are the two goals of bidder conference. If these goals do not make sense to you, and that are not going to make sense to you if you don't have more than one supplier to begin with, then you need not have a bidder conference. So that's all that I had in this quick video. Smash that like button if you got value out of it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified whenever we upload new content. Also, don't forget to check out the website pmclounge.com, your number one free PMP resource. Also, check us out on our social media. PMC Lounge is our handle on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, of course. Thank you and have a nice day.